I've got some blueprints over here that I made. I came up with these myself. It's not like I've got like a tutorial or an answer sheet over here. I mean, it is an answer sheet, but it's one that I made. But I'm just gonna talk through, just in case anyone's like following along with this. What I wanted to do was, so right now you can guess the answer, and you can change the mode. So if you guess wrong, it doesn't work. Let's see, but here's the thing. So if we guess it right, which it looks like it's 41 right now, submit, go. In order to play again, we need to reload the page. So I'd like to add a reset button that will get rid of this. And I don't want the reset button to be there all the time. I'm also, if you notice, let's see, I'll turn it to medium and I will guess 5. And so if I change it to hard, it changes to hard and it hits a new number. I don't want it to do that. Once a guess has been made, I want it to kind of lock in. So, man, I did not know how busy and noisy this street was until I got this super awesome microphone. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add a button. And right now we have a form here, and we've got a form here. And let's just, well, we don't need an ID on that one. I'll go ahead and add one. ID equals choices. I don't believe we're going to use that one, but if we do need to, it's there. And I want to do another form. I will say that I tried to put this reset button in here, but every time I hit the button, everything else, it does submit button fired as well. And if I push the submit button, the reset button would fire. So ultimately, I decided on a separate form that has just another input. It's a type equals submit. So it's just like a normal submit button, and we'll play it. There it is. So we want to change the value of the submit button, just so it doesn't say like submit. So let's make it say play again. We'll run it. There we go. Our button says play again. Interesting. If we click it, it triggers the other button. So that's okay. Let's see, I think ID we'll call this one again. We've got type. We'll give this one an ID as well. also need our e.prevent default. Cool. To prevent the page from reloading. There we go. Okay. So both of these buttons are hitting this, and this one is not. Cool. So what we want to do in here is we want to look at the event. I want to see what the ID is on the event. So let's do that. Let's see, console log. And I found out that on the event is this target thing, and that is the element that fired off the event. And we want the ID of the element that fired off the event. So that's what this console log should give us. We'll run it. We'll click submit. And the ID is input. And the ID is again. Okay. So what we can do is we can say I mean, we could do like a variable. We could say like let ID equal e dot target dot ID. Cool. And then that way we should just be able to do that. Let's double check, make sure that works. Cool. And then I imagine you can tell what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna do some ifs. If ID triple equals input, then we'll fire off the guess handler, which takes in the event. So guess handler E. There we go. And we'll do a good old console log. Maybe we don't need to prevent default in this one anymore. We'll find out. Okay. Guess handler. And then we'll do if ID triple equals again. Then we'll do a reset, and the reset will be on the game here. So we'll do a reset, and then in here we'll do a thing. And so to reset that, we will put that right here, and it's on our game, right? So it'll be game.reset. And let's see, game.reset right now. We'll just, just console.log. We'll console log the word reset, so we know we're hitting that. And we'll just console log guess handler in here to make sure that is firing the way we want it to. get stuck on something, you think it's working, but it's not. And a console log will let you know that a long time ago. So if we submit, we've got to guess. If we play again, we've got to reset. Alright. And let's make sure it takes in the number. Okay, oh, yeah, we did guess it. Okay, so that bit all still works. So this game, this play again thing here, calls the reset function. So there's two other things we want to address. One is that you can adjust this and come up with a new number in the middle of your game. We don't want that to happen. We want to stop that. So I think what I ended up doing was putting, I think it was in the guess handler, but like an if statement. Let me double check here. And then we have a reset handler. Game.reset. I mean, I'll just go ahead. I mean, it seems like I don't really need a reset handler, but I'm gonna make one anyway. Function reset handler. You never know when you want to like throw extra stuff in there, like when you reset it. So we'll copy this. Cut. Game.reset. And in here we'll call the reset handler. And we'll give it the old E. And we'll give it the old E. I don't think you have to specify that that's coming in. But we'll do it. Okay. Submit handler, reset handler, got a mode handler. These we can, we'll keep the mode, but and we'll keep that in there for right now too, okay. What do I want to address first? I want to change this. So I believe I'm looking at my solution that I came up with over here. Let's see. Okay, so I remember what I did was I came up with a this dot start equals, I believe I had it set to false to begin with. So this means that the game is not started. And so what I can do I can hear my roommates. Let's see. Alright, so and this dot start triple equals false. So basically right now this changes if the mode is selected, but I want to set it up so that you can only change it if like if the mode is easy and this dot start triple equals false, then you can do all this. Originally I had it set up like this. But let's see if that works actually. Oh, there was another piece. So in the guess handler, because when I make a guess, when I push like a number and I submit, this listener fires off, and then the guess handler fires off. So if this handler fires off, I have made a guess and I've started my game. So this is where I wanted to add just a little bit. And what I did was I put it down here. It said if game dot start equals false. Game dot start equals true. So yeah, basically when the guess handler is fired off, what this does is it checks to see if game.start is false. So it'll fire off. If it is false and I've guessed something, it'll change this to true, which means that I've started the game. And I can no longer change the mode because the requirements for changing the mode means if mode is easy and this dot start equals false. So that is that's yeah. I could I think just say like up top I could do like another if, maybe. Let's find out. Actually, let's just see if it works how it is right now. So I can change the mode and it generates a new number each time. Okay. If I make a guess, actually, was it? Yeah. Okay. If I make a guess, 1, then if I change this, cool. Our mode is still 10, and our number is still 8. So we are no longer able to change the mode. We're locked in. We've changed it many So basically, we want to hide stuff, and we need a method in our game that will add and remove these classes. A toggle, if you will. Let's see. So this is where we were doing that kind of stuff. We'll say let toggle equal, and it was okay. It's just like a good old document. No, not get animation. That sounds cool. I haven't messed with that. I'll have to look into that. Get animations. And what do we call our button? Our button is again. So again. And so what we need to do is we need to make a toggler. We'll put it under here. What did I call it on my other one? I called it toggle options. And toggle options. It checks to see if there's a class list on there, which right now it's by default it has show or sorry hide on it. So we'll check and we'll see if toggle dot class list dot contains what was the first one I did? Sorry, I hope it doesn't seem like I'm cheating too much because I keep looking at all the stuff that I came up with already. But honestly, I spent quite a good bit of time coming up with this really simple crap. So if toggle.classList contains show, well, we want to toggle.classList dot remove show, and we want to toggle, actually, let's, instead of like adding all this stuff in here, we can just put a variable in here. We'll say let toggle. I never use const. I need to, it seems like const is for like permanent variables that don't change, I guess. I guess this would always be the same value, right? Yeah, so hey, we'll try it. You know what? Let's do something new. Class list. There we go. Actually, I'm not even sure if I can do that. opposite if. Need my if statement there. If dog dot contains hide. Why? Oh, that's right. Okay. I was like, why are there two parentheses? But I see it now. We'll do the same thing. And it was dog dot. I saved a lot of typing there. Dog dot remove hide. Dog dot add show. Okay. And I think what was originally happening is it would pop up. Like, I'll just show you because errors making the wrong move helps you learn better than just getting it right the first time, I think. Our magic number is 8. We're gonna guess 2. Boom. 2 is not the number. Oh, right. We're not actually firing off the toggle options thing. So, let's see. Where would we fire off toggle options? Guess handler. Guess handler. And here, maybe. No. Toggle options. I believe would be in here. And this, we haven't done anything with this yet, so we'll just get rid of that. And we'll do game dot toggle options. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if it does it do it. No. Okay. And what if we guess it? 3. Oh, capitalized game. No, that's not it. Toggle options. Toggle options. Copy. Let's see. Game. Dot. Did I not spell this right or something? Let's see. If the guess equals game dot. Oh. Oh yeah. You remove wrong. You win. See. Toggle options. That's 9. Let's just guess it right. Okay. The page reloads. Do I need to put mode handler, guess handler? I don't know. Crap. Alright, let me consult. Contains show. I think, so I did have like a return statement here because for some reason, red run, return. Basically what was happening is, it would put show on, or it would remove show and add hide, and then down here it would find hide and put it back to show. gas handler fires off. Make a guess. 65. Right here. Game dot toggle options. And 24 in game dot toggle options. Here's toggle options. 24. Ah. There it is. That's why it says 2 is not defined. Alright. Let's see. Our magic number is 1. Let's guess a 5. 5 is not the number. 1. 1 is the number. And our play again button has showed up. And as you see here, our reset method is firing, so we can fill that out. So right now it just says console log reset. And what do we want to reset? Well, we can't change our mode if this dot start is false. And we turn it to true. Game dot start. So we need to reset that. This dot start equals false. We also want our toggle option button to disappear again, right? Luckily, we have a method for that. If we put the class on, we can take it back off. So let's say this is in our method, so it's this dot toggle options. We'll just fire that off, and let's see if that does the trick. Okay, we'll choose medium. Not that it matters, because we know the answer. 23 is not the number. Of course it's not. That's because the number is 30. We guessed it. Cool beans. That's great. Play again. Boom. The button disappears. Are we able to... We can change the mode. We come up with a new number. Everything is right in the world. Let's, our secret number is 10. Let's guess, it won't be a 0, but 1 is not the number. 5 is not the number. 10. 10 is the number. We guessed it. Play again. Okay. Now, here's the problem. When we play again, we still have our winning message from when we won, basically. So that is something we could put in our reset here, and that was actually output, right? So we could say like output dot class list dot remove, and I think it was winner. We'll pop into our CSS file and figure that out here in a second. Yeah, winner. So we're going to remove the winner class list. And then I know what needs to happen after that, but we'll, let's just find out. Our secret number is 9. Let's just guess it right off the bat. 9. Guess the number. We'll play again. We just got rid of the green. So we actually need to do the inner HTML. And to clear this, what we'll do is we'll actually just give a blank value. Output dot inner HTML equals just use singles. I like them better. I don't know why I decided to start using doubles in this, but I'd like to stay consistent. Okay. So, if we run it, we can choose medium. We can guess a number. 3. We'll guess it a couple times. 9. A 9 is not the number. And what is that? Number's 12. Yay, we got it. Wow. Okay, and we'll push play again. Boom. Board is cleared. Are we able to? Yes, we can change our difficulty and generate a new number. It's always like, but okay. It was like always by 10. Maybe it was, I think it has something to do with the clock, but okay. Now, can we also, maybe we should hide this. If yeah, I think we should hide this and just have the guessing game while they're guessing, and then have it come back after they've won. Let's see. We could do that here as well. Yeah, I know you're supposed to have it do like one thing if you can, but just because this is pretty much the exact same thing, I could probably like refactor it to like take in a parameter or like grab one of these. I'll do that later. I might do that later. Okay. Let's see, that was mode. So const mode equals mode dot class list. Go on, we'll put that down here. Say like if mode dot contains. Actually, we can just copy what we did and just like change a couple of things. Yeah. Let's Control C. Since this is being repeated over and over again, obviously I can make this a function. I might do something after I build this out a little bit to go back and try to refactor it into like so you don't have a lot of this repeated code. Just turn these all into functions. It's not super necessary, but it looks nice and it's like easy to read. Okay, so tog. We're actually. Oh, look at that! It's gonna be so easy. We're just gonna go mode. That was so simple. That just blew them. I'm like stuttering now. My mouth is dry as well. There we go. That's better. That was my belly from drinking let's see. Yeah, we'll just run it and see what happens. Alright, cool. And actually, we should put that in our mode handler, right? We can put right here, toggle options. We'll just fire it off. So if they've made a choice, the first thing we'll do is we'll just hide it, or actually maybe we'll put it at the bottom. Yeah. I don't know that the position makes all that much of a difference, but I think this will work. We'll find out. That's my thing. If you watch, if you don't watch, let's find out ASMR. You should. Awesome channel. Dude just like does math homework and studies like astrophysics and talks about the planets. And he's really cool. It's a good channel. You can chill and learn stuff. But let's find out has kind of become my motto. If I don't know something, I don't say I don't know. I say let's find out. Okay, toggle options is not defined, right? It's not. Game dot toggle options is defined. Alright, is this gonna work? Okay, no. Cannot access mode before initialization. That is interesting. That was not. Alright. I was hoping I wouldn't have to. You know, I did not make it this far. That's why it feels like this is a new error. This is unexplored territory. So, right. Okay. That's what it is. Yeah, I put game. I referred to it as game while I was actually in the class method. Should have been this. Cool thing to remember about like classes and in JavaScript, just like constructor functions. I had a hard time with this keyword, but you don't really need to wrap your head around it as long as you can use it, as long as you just remember that this when you move outside of the class, like after you've instantiated it, whoosh, this turns into game. So you would do like game.reset, and if you wanted to check the status of the game, you would say like game.start instead of this. This is just like you're working in the class. I'm gonna stop trying to teach stuff. It took me forever to realize that. Okay. Did I run it already? What do we do here? Oh, okay. It's still 19. Mode.class list. Let's see, mode helper. it's on line 100. Okay, it's when we first fire off the mode helper. Then JS60. Here we've got this toggle options. And JS19. Is it because I have a const? Yeah, maybe. Let's do a let. I don't know if that'll help. It doesn't help. Okay. Can I access mode before initialization? Initialization. Let mode.classList. Should I? Is it because I have? Okay, let's maybe. I'll say level. I just want to see if that date mode. Yeah. Toggle about class list. Mode.classList. Let's see if that does it. Oh, hey, it didn't break. Okay, so if we guess. Okay, and I think that happens because the toggle looks for the show class or the hide class, and right now choices does not have a class, so we'll give it a class, and that class will be show. We'll run it. We'll make a guess. Actually, alright, we can choose levels, and as soon as we submit, nope, didn't work. Okay. What is our magic numbers? That's 5. Oh. Two's not the number. I feel like I saw that button. But I shouldn't have. Oh, the mode's still 10. Okay. Magic number is 10. 10. Boom. We got it. Play again. Resets. We can do a thing. But we're still not. We're still not hiding. Why? Why would we not mode? Because this should all be level now. Level. That's how you spell level, right? Alright, now we'll run it. Choose a mode, make sure it doesn't disappear while we're choosing. Doesn't, although now our button pops up. That okay, I understand why that's happening. And I understand. Yeah. So we'll just break this out here. We'll do toggle toggle mode. This will solve it. And is that then we've got toggle mode. Let's bring this down here. Copy. And we'll plug that in. This function does the same thing, but if we fire it off at the same time, it's going to look for the play button. I'm sure there's a switch I could add, but just to get it going right now, this is what I want to do. And so, which helper, mode helper, this is it. Instead of toggle options, we will toggle, what do we call it? Toggle mode. Okay, I think that'll do it. Let's make sure we can change stuff, and we can. And if we guess a number, submit 2 is not the number, but this is not gone either. Okay. Just toggle mode. Start is false. Oh right. If I put it there, it would like disappear. Hang on a second. I'm gonna. If this worked, if level contains show, let's see if we're hitting this branch of logic here. Show. And we'll do the same. I don't think we're getting in here. I need to understand why. Man, I was really blowing through this earlier when I had stuff to reference. Now I'm slowing back down. Okay. So, mode 50. Actually, let's get rid of this. Run it. So if we guess. Alright. So we're not getting into either one of those. See, where is it? Toggle mode. Toggle options. Toggle mode. Maybe we can go with go back to the. No. We'll stay with the lead. I'm gonna make this lead too. Alright. This works. But this doesn't. Toggle mode. Mode.classList. Mode get element by ID mode. So our form that's what it is. What did I have? What does this even do? I don't think this does anything. Where was I is interesting because this is not called mode. Alright. I'm gonna run it and see if I break anything. No. 40, 26, 6. Let's go. Hard mode. 54. 3. 54. Submit. Again. Okay. So that is not the problem. This should be, I believe, choices. Did I have like an event listener down here, or I feel like I was doing something with that, but I commented it out, and my game didn't break. So okay, so if we change the mode, oh, it disappears. All right, so it is working as expected. Because yeah, if game start is not false, then we're gonna toggle this every time we select a mode, which will make it instantly disappear. So we need to toggle this when our first guess is made. So we will actually fire this off, and the guess handler. Yeah. If we do that, okay, we'll put it in here. Yeah. So it's game dot. Oh my gosh. Toggle mode. There we go. I think that'll do it. Because this only fires off once, right? Let's find out. I think that's right. Because that's where I put basically the block, so that you can't change the mode after a guess has happened. So we'll run it. We'll see if it works. We should be able to change this. No. That's okay. Huh. So brain's getting fried. Start to get coat brain. Stare at this for too long. That's why it's good to get up and take breaks. I'm gonna run it, make sure. Are you gonna disappear? You're gonna turn into something crazy? You're not. Okay, I think this might be it. If it disappears when we guessed, that is the second to the last step we needed. One. That's a bummer. Okay. Level equals mode.classList. Oh, we just need to change this to show mode, right? Alright. I think this will do it. Son of a bitch. Show mode is not defined. Oh, it's not, because I didn't capitalize mode. Alright, I'm making silly mistakes at this point. Gonna undo this and a reset, and that'll be it. I'm gonna call it a night, I think. Gosh. Oh, I guessed the number. How about that? Cannot read properties of null. Reading class list. Game.toggle mode. 32. Show mode.classList. Show mode.classList. Right. Gosh. Excuse me. Okay. Alright. It works. Let's try a couple just to make sure it doesn't disappear before it's supposed to. Sweet. And then we make a guess. Submit. Nice. And then I think to fix it, here, let's see, we'll guess. Looks like our number is 7. Yay, we win. If we push play again, it's still hidden, so we can't choose our mode. So we'll just do the toggler in the reset function here. We'll do this dot toggle mode. And I think, make sure everything works. What's this? I'm sure you're bored, but that's kind of the point, so it's fine. Nobody's following along. I am just whispering sweet, nerdy nothings into your ear for pure relaxation, not to teach you how to program. What is our number? Number's 13. Oh no, let's try, I guess. Submit. Cool, that disappears. Number's 13. Let's guess it right. We guessed it. We got it, yes. Oh, and now we can choose our mode. That's very cool. It was a struggle, but we made it. Congratulations. I know this game is like really ugly right now, but I guess I'll just keep working on this game. I think the next thing I want to do is add like a checkbox that if you select it, you will turn on hints, which will show up. If you guess too high, it says number's lower than that. If you guess too low, it says the number's higher than that. We can keep track of the score, which won't even be hard. I think we've got enough logic in here that we could just throw something in pretty quick and do that. And then once it seems like a nice, like, functional game that works the way you would expect a game to work, we'll doctor up the CSS, see if we can't make it look better. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this evening. I will not always be showing my face. I just wanted to try it and see how it worked out. Not particularly fond of my face, really. But who cares? Nobody's watching this video anyway. Alright. Thanks for watching. Here, I will, at the end, this is the HTML. You can pause it here and check if anything's messed up if you were following along because you're a Mac person. I was gonna say Madman, but I have no idea who's watching these videos, if anyone. But pause it, check your HTML with this, and then here's the JavaScript, the final working JavaScript here at the end. Does everything we want it to. So you can pause it, check your code with mine. We'll scroll down from 35 on line 35. There we go. From line 36 to line 68. And then we've got from line 68 to line 100. And then we've got line 101 to the bottom. So you should be able to compare your code with this. Not that this is super hard. If you know what you're doing, this is like baby kid stuff. And here's the CSS file that we have so far, which is nothing. But that's it. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my evening. I've been studying for certification and kind of coding as a break, and then I just wanted